I'm an artist. 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 I'm not crazy.
We're not crazy. We're artists.
I'm an artist.
I'm not crazy. I'm an artist. My musical influences are Prince, Michael Jackson, the Bee Gees, to Lynyrd Skynyrd, Fleetwood Mac, Bon Jovi, to Neo, Ludacris. It's all over the place. I listen to just about everything. You could call me like a human jukebox. I know pretty much any song from every genre and year, from classical to now. Come on. I consider my musical style reggae soul with a little bit of pop. My favorite song that I've written is probably I just wrote this recent song about 2 months ago, and it's I haven't really titled it yet, but it's a song about a relationship. Basically, the song is just like no matter what happens, just know that like at the end of the day, like no matter where we are, we can always hold on to each other. Like, if you've lost sight or lost hope with anything else, that at least you know that you have them to call, or that they'll be by your side. My girlfriend's name is Chelsea. She's really sweet, and she supports me a lot, and I love her to death, and I miss her a lot.
I'm not crazy. I'm an artist. I'm an artist.
2008 was a really hard year for me. My grandma was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2007, and like right around our birthday. I'm born in September. She's born in September, and I was living in Jersey at the time, and she came up to visit me, her and my grandpa, for Halloween, and we went to Atlantic City, and that was Halloween of 2007. And that's when they told me face to face that she had lung cancer. And I mean, looking at her and well, I was 19, so I mean, I wasn't that young, but I mean, I was still not really sure. I was like, okay, yeah, cancer. And I never really experienced cancer with anybody ever close to me or in my life. And then ended up taking her life in 2008 on July 5th, and I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was at a friend's 4th of July party, and was partying. We were partying all night, and I had a show. I was living in West Point at the time, and we had a show in Newport News with my old band I used to play in, View from the Top. And we had a show the next day, and I had this hat that I just bought, this like this some hat I got from H&M that I really wanted to wear for the show, just for looks and stuff. And I remember leaving it at my grandparents, and I didn't have to go there whatsoever. Like, they were out of the way, but something was like, go here. And it wasn't even for the hat, really, because I ended up finding my hat wasn't even at my grandparents, but it was something told me to go to my grandma's, and I went to go say hello to her, and she was just in the bed. She was asleep, but my grandpa was. I walked into the house and he was just like frozen and just watching TV like a zombie, and it just seemed really eerie. And I left to get stuff ready for our show. And as we were pulling out of Russell's house, my mom calls me like, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm going to Newport News for this show." She was like, "Well, Grandma just passed away," and it was the most devastating thing in my life. It was the most devastating moment of my life. She was my best friend. My mom, I grew up with a single parent mom, and my mom did everything in her power to make sure I had the life. I grew up well off, and I thank my mom every day for that. I didn't have to struggle. She struggled to make sure I didn't have to struggle, and because of that, she used to work a lot of nights, and my so I would spend a lot of time with my grandparents. So my grandma was my second mom, and she used to always tell me she would be like, you're gonna get us out of the ghetto. And we're from West Point. We're from like a small country town. I graduated with like 65 kids in my class. Everyone knows who you are in this town. And it's just funny how she would say, "You can get us out of the ghetto." But I mean, she'll never see it. She'll never see us get out, which sucks because she has a lot to do with who I am. And but I got that call and just wanted to just keel over and die myself that day. And I was in the car with my drummer at the time, Justin, and he was like, "If you want, I can take you home." And I was like, "Nah," because I mean, there's nothing I can do anymore. She's already gone, and I was lucky and fortunate to get to say my piece, have my piece with her before she left. And I think that was the whole reason of me going over there. And for some reason, it was like I was thinking of the hat more than I was thinking of my grandma for going over there. But it was the fact that like I need to go see her, and then ever since then it's almost been like a blessing, because I feel like ever since that day, stuff musically has been slowly advancing for me.
I go back and forth every single day. The caretakers of the choppy ways, and the feelings and the places and the seasons change. The galaxies remain. With energy fields put my body to space. The angels that I couple to the spiritual ways. The hate that gets me distant from my spiritual pace. Tenfold the mono.
And I wouldn't say like, I mean, everything has been happening in a great way. Ever since then, I've found myself more in my music. Before I was more just like a puppet and playing. Like I was frontman and for a band, but it was a band that I wasn't writing any of the lyrics to. I didn't have any creative criticism when it came to writing music. I was just there to sing it, and it sucked because it wasn't like I was signed to any record label. These were just friends that I grew up with and was in high school with, and we put together a band to play music. And it was like, wow, this is something I really want to do, and I want to spend my life doing it. But yet, it's like any other 9-to-5 job. I show up and they tell me what I have to do when I have to do it, and then I leave. And it's like, and that it wasn't fun, and music wasn't becoming fun for me anymore. And so we ended up going our separate ways, and I just feel like I gained another guardian angel when my grandma passed away, because all this stuff was happening and I was transitioning through bands and transitioning in a new lifestyle, living in Richmond, and then I dreaded my hair. It was like there was so many things that was happening wrong in my life. Well, not wrong, just things that were out of my hand that were happening in my life that I couldn't control, that I had no control over, and I couldn't affect. So, and I needed something where a commitment where it was, I knew I could be all in other than my music. And I dreaded my hair, and I've had dreads for almost 6 years now, and it's crazy because me as a musician, I listen to a lot of stuff, but reggae is actually a style of music that I've just recently like engulfed myself in, and just like fully submerged myself in with reggae, folk. Just like recently, I met a friend, Virginia Kinney, who works at Fox, and when I met her at the time, she worked at All Good Music Festival, and got me a job there bartending, and we did the VIP bartending, so we got to be backstage and stuff a lot, and I got to meet a lot of artists that played these festivals, and they're not any mainstream artists, but I mean they sell out tickets for like festivals where Bonnaroo was 30,000 last time I went. It's crazy how like there's such another level of the underground scene with music that a lot of people don't see from TV and mainstream, that is so big out there, that I honestly, coming from a small town and like just being limited to basic cable and stuff growing up, you don't get to see everything that just even the US has to offer. Like I had no idea there were 4-day festivals where you could go camp out and listen to 30 bands in a day for all weekend, and that completely changed the way I started looking at music. I started experimenting with more jam bands and stuff, and like not actually putting structure to my music, but but finding a key and a rhythm and just going with the flow. So my music has varied. It's evolved a lot over a lot of experience, out of a lot of life experiences that I've had recently in my life. There's this place that I've kind of built a residency at on the Rocks in Richmond, and we do free shows every Friday nights. And but right now I'm working on my next EP, my next demo, I guess I should call it, and really have been trying to put together something for myself, but because of experiences and stuff, I actually got to audition for American Idol this year, and I made it through the first round of judging, of executive producer rounds, and they sent me to Kansas City, and where I met so many cool people, so many wonderful people, and even though didn't get to advance with a lot of the people that I met, the opportunity of meeting them and experience was more than getting any win. Well, ever since I left my band, I've strictly just wanted to do solo stuff, but it took me going to American Idol to realize that like I shouldn't be so selfish when it comes to music. Like lately, it's just been like I didn't want to work with anybody. Like I play with a friend Josh, but he just does percussion, so he basically just backs me up. But I met Hutley at American Idol, and it was just like we just like clicked. It was like we're kind of similar artists, but completely different artists. Like he has such soul with his playing and his singing, and we jammed last night. He just got back to Richmond, and we went to my buddy Josh's and just recorded some stuff. We and recorded about an hour's worth of just freestyling, just jamming, you know.
I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm an artist.
GMOs? Whoa, GMOs? I do not approve. GMOs, no.
I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm an artist.
Get in here. We have a special guest, Hutley, the guy I was talking about in my interview. All right, this is the guy. This is the guy that turned me from a solo artist. No, this guy got me this guy got me to stop playing with myself.
Wow.
It's a hot thing to do.
Ebola, guys.
It's my favorite drug.
Ebola.
1 minute on Ebola. Go.
Ebola is population control. Ebola is a disease made by the government, just like AIDS and cancer. Cancer is something that there are two big forms of cancer that kill people every day: liver cancer and lung cancer. Two big things that the two leading causes of liver cancer and lung cancer are cigarettes and alcohol. Those are the only two drugs that are legal in our states, but yet have major health effects.
Good answer.
What do you think?
What do I think? I really don't give a fuck.
Till you get Ebola.
No, I'm just saying. I do care that like Ebola is like being entered into our state, and I mean I really don't know what to think. I mean, who's to say what we're supposed to think? Either they're trying to mess with us, or
yeah, I mean
there could be conspiracy theories, or there cannot. I mean,
well, then
sometimes I just feel like people are stupid, and like we think that we're smarter than we are, and I feel like we kind of just let this happen to ourselves with a lot of reasons. Even like the collapse of like the housing market and the banks and everything. I mean, that was just stupid mistakes, thinking that we were smarter than what we really are. We can never think that nothing bad can happen to us. I mean, we're in a recession right now where, so much money's been spent in like Christmas presents. It's been proven more people are spending even more money on presents this year than they did last year. I mean, so I don't know. Everyone's like, we're in a recession. They're like, yeah, there's really poor people, but I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna suppress them with Obama phones and like welfare and food stamps. Which, dude, I was on freaking food stamps. Like, I had my card, you know what I mean? And when I got back on my feet, I got off it. That's what it's for. It's supposed to use for that. But we're human beings. That's why we can't live in a socialistic government that, you know, everything's perfect, because we're not perfect people. I wish it would be that way and everybody could just have an equal amount or a fair amount what they're supposed to have. But I mean, we're just stupid people, and that's just what happens. There's nothing you can really do. Just like a disease spreading. Who knows how AIDS got here? Conspiracy. It's just to spread it amongst the gay community, whatever. I mean, Ebola, you know, like, I just don't think it's right that little, like, you know, African immigrants that are, like, in our country that have been here for years are being, like, picked on in schools by kids. Like, you know, like a little African boys being picked on in school because of Ebola and shit. Now it's getting out of hand. And, like, that's where I think it should draw the line at. I don't think it's smart to bring it, like, it's, like, right in Maryland. Yeah, that's what I think.
Texas.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Like,
And how do you feel about martial law if it comes here?
I feel like everybody needs to buckle down and strap
I feel like
up.
states should be able to run states and government shouldn't be too big. And I feel like that a community should run a community. I don't feel like just because a certain state has certain areas that are bad that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that the whole country has to pay for, like, one state. Or, like, just because one law in one state can change, like, the whole thing. I don't think that's right.
I think what everyone needs to do is every county, city, state needs to have a county, city, and statewide festival where everyone literally takes 3 days off, stops everything that they're doing, find an open area somewhere big enough for everyone to congregate and commute and get together and share with each other beverage, foods, music, and art, and realize that this life is short and we only have one world and we are all here together, and we need to put down our flags, because flags are division, flags divide. We need to fly one banner. We shouldn't be afraid to be different.
Because that's what I love about America is how diverse we are, and that's one thing that we can't change, even state by state.
And that's the thing.
You got to keep diversity because not everyone's opinion is going to be the same, and like in certain aspects, and you have to respect that in some certain manner.
And that's why we should come together and bring what we love and what we care about together and share it with everybody, so that we can understand.
Do you think in the end, if we fight our government and everything, that it would actually make a difference?
No, I don't
do you
want
guys
to
actually believe? I'm saying if they like had like martial law and everything, would you like stand up for your right, or would you just do what they said?
I would fight. If someone
you would stand up for your freedom.
If someone came to my door.
Do you now? Okay, I know you would. Do you think that other people? You think the majority would?
I hope.
If I had a superpower, it would be I would be able to turn myself into McGill at any time.
What about you, McGill?
It'd be awesome.
I don't want to sound corny and say fly, but fly.
I'd be able to be the predator every single year.
Yo, that'd be dope.
And then I could be Jesus another year. I could swap.
Actually, no. If I had a superpower, it'd be that my dreads could transform into marijuana, so I would never be dry.
Actually, that's a really horrible idea because drugs are bad.
Oh, that's.
So if you were
But
a
plants
drug,
are good. Stay green.
if you were a drug, what would you be and why?
If I was a drug, I'd probably be acid because I'm so psychedelic.
So how do you feel about the war on drugs and legalization of marijuana?
That's a comment that I don't want to speak on national television or any website.
I'll speak on it. I'll speak on it.
I'm gonna plug my ears.
Earmuffs for the children. I think it is a beautiful thing. I feel like our generation right now is just basically going through the prohibition era when it came with alcohol that our forefathers went through earlier. When marijuana is a beautiful thing. We have realized that it's a plant that comes from this earth, and there are wonderful things, scientifically proven things that THC and CBDs can do for the body that are good when it comes to health related issues. And I feel like, well, just like any drug, well, if you want to consider it a drug, I don't really consider lettuce a drug, and it grows just as well as marijuana. And
it makes you feel good, and it ain't the Lord, it's sinning.
Amen. What's a perfect day in the life of Hector?
First I take these gloves and then put them on, and then I get the other one and then put this on.
Average day, days can vary, so I'll give you the perfect day. My perfect day, because
perfect day.
There's never a day that's the same. There's so many busy days.
They're different.
But my perfect day would be me waking up, meditating for about 30 minutes, being one with nature. That's a 420 reference for all y'all out there. Playing some music, walking the streets, seeing the people, getting the environment, getting the feel of the life of the day, getting in touch with Gaia, Mother Nature, and just being at one with everything and everyone around me. That's a perfect McGill day.
McGill Lee Jackson.
Okay, if I had $1 million, I would build a swimming pool 5 football fields big and put pudding in it.
Pudding?
Yes.
Pudding pops. I would build a gnarly ass studio.
And all my friends and family, everybody who's ever been associated with me in my life would have to come, and we would all jump in butt ass naked and eat every bit of pudding until
that sounds really disgusting.
Did you hear that?
Welcome to Richmond.
And then some crazy shit like that happens outside, and then I lose track of train of thought. I'm not crazy. I'm an artist.